friends. Before we get into the episode, we just want to quickly say happy dry January, happy 2024. The first couple episodes of this year are all going to be non-alcoholic for your pleasure. Don't get me wrong. I love any kind of beverage, but this month it's fun to take a step back, make some healthy, clear-headed choices, and have a little sober fun with friends. If you are curious at all about dry January, I think it's a great time to take a little step back from booze and just hang out.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time on the show normalizing alcohol consumption, and we just like to spend a couple 4 weeks normalizing not alcohol consumption. For healthy choices, healthy bodies, healthy ears.
Healthy toes.
Healthy toes.
So enjoy these episodes as you would any other Album or Brews episode, but perhaps with a mocktail or a glass of water in hand. Take care of yourself, and Happy New Year! We love you! Mwah!
Drinking this album, listen to the brews. I think it would pair well, if only for you, 'cause it's Album or Brews. It's Album or Brews.
Folks, it's a new year. We're back at it, but I've got the same old idiot mantra. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Album or Brews, the stickiest music podcast. I am, yet again, one of your hosts. My name is Sarah.
Googa gaga, double time swing, modal interchange, minor 7, 5, 5, 9 at 11. Oh, that's baby jazz. We're talking about adult jazz today. My name's Zach.
Wow, that was so
Holy
good.
shit!
My name's Daylong, and I'm just a jazz musician. I'm not a musician. I'm not a jazz musician. I just enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
An adult jazz connoisseur.
Yes.
Daylong, we've been trying to get you on the show for so long. We're so happy it's finally happened.
Yes.
Daylong makes music out of Chicago. We see you at every show. How many shows do you go to a year, if you had to guess?
It's been different. Early on, it's been like way more, but recently I've been kind of, I want to say maybe like once a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super good.
That's
a
still
lot. Yeah.
impressive. Yeah.
it was really cool because I really wanted to support everyone.
Yeah.
And that was like so important to me. Just like, what's happening here? Oh, wow, there's so much. And it's like, it's a little overstimulating, but it's also like the coolest thing about just living, just being like, oh, wow, there's just so much community here.
There's so much good stuff in Chicago to go support.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
It's so lovely, and it's often such a given. If you see a really cool looking person with like funky eyeliner in the front of a show, odds are it's Daylong.
Oh, yeah.
And you should say hello because they're an absolute sweetie pea.
Yes.
Aww.
The number of times I've seen a band like pick you out in the mosh pit and they'll be like, this one's for Daylong.
Yes,
go into
for
it, like,
real.
Hell yeah. I love
So
that.
it's so lovely. I think
Yeah.
your level of support is such a slay.
Yeah, it's kind of like you have to be as active. You have to be the most active so everyone else around you feels more kind of like, I could do it too. And then they join in, and then it just makes like the entire party just
elevates it.
Yeah.
Get to jump in. You're like the anti-party pooper.
That's pretty good. Speaking of really cool bands, tell us about this one, this album you picked, and the pairing, and a little bit about why you picked it.
Oh, adult jazz. It's a band that I've been listening to since like 2014, and they are some insane cats. Like they're like, it's the first time I ever like knew what music actually could become. It's like the different types of like drumming, like drunk drumming was the most insane stuff that's existing.
The drumming is super strange. Like some of it is like it's not quite in Another Time signature, but it's like you're kind of like stumbling through it.
Yeah, like a nice drunk drumming.
Yeah.
That's why it's called drunk drumming, because we're all stumbling.
I don't think I had heard that phrase, but it really is so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like so many elements on this record are so like, hey, what's going on here? Like they're really just like you said, like kooky cats, and they're just kind of pushing everything into a really kooky space.
Yeah.
And it's in a way where it doesn't sound super like unpleasant.
It's not abrasive.
Uncomfortable. It's not abrasive.
Yeah.
It's
It's beautiful.
Great word.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Uh-huh.
It's angelic. It's ethereal.
It's
Yeah.
so
I would say. It's-
artsy.
Yeah.
I miss these guys. I'm so sad about it. But I was into some of the other weird bands of this era. Do you guys know Animal Collective or like
Yeah.
Palm or Alt J? I'm wearing an Alt J shirt today.
Uh-huh.
So I would have ate this up in 2014.
Same. I was getting very like Bon Iver meets
Yeah.
like
Bon Iver is so
hippocampus
amazing.
vocals.
Hippocampus
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I hear that now.
So again, like I was in the same boat as you. I missed the boat with these fools back in 2014. But if they had been, I don't know if I was smart enough actually to appreciate it yet at the time. But I think I would have bumped some of it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I would have bumped some of it.
Yeah. The lyricism is a little witty. They're kind of like Vampire Weekend. They reference Socrates once or twice.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe it's Plato.
I think the first time I heard it, I was running, and it's I was like running like a 3.4 mile kind of thing. I used to do 5Ks all the time, and I got so distracted by the drunk drumming and the weird vocals
You
and
fell
all of
over.
that
No, I'm
stuff.
just kidding.
And then it was just so insane. I accidentally like I accidentally ran like 12 miles that day because I was just like,
Whoa.
I was just kept on going. I was like, what is happening? I've never experienced this before. This is like such a cool experience.
Yeah,
Wow.
it gets kind of. I had a similar thing happen to me when I was listening to this week because I just like put in my little headphones and I was doing a dishes listen, which is like I listen to the album and I wash my dishes, and that only got me through like 2 songs, and I was already in kind of a trance listening to it. So I just kept cleaning my apartment.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like involuntary. I was like, I don't want to take my headphones out. Like I need to keep doing stuff so I can listen to this and keep moving.
Yeah, it's like auditory sativa.
Kind of, honestly. Kind of.
It really gets you going.
Did you notice when you were like running and listening to this? Because I know some people, I'm not a runner, but I know some people try and get like the BPM
Oh yeah,
like to match their pace. Did you like kind of like
oh
shuffle
funny, just
through
gotta
it?
stumble every time.
Yeah.
I was just huffing it at just like a very steady pace. It was great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hell
That's so
yeah.
cool.
Let's talk about this pairing real quick.
Yeah,
I'm
so
very
Ramoon.
excited. Yum.
That's one of my favorites. I get it probably like once a week.
I love that.
I think I'm a very big fan of things that are just like odd.
yes.
Like that's like one of my favorites. Like I like pop rocks as well. Like any
Uh-huh.
like anything that is not traditionally like the way how
yeah.
should
Guys,
be.
I'm so scared. It says, please ask an adult to open the bottle.
Oh,
Oh, no.
do you need help,
It's
Zach?
for adult jazz.
Oh!
What is the country of origin?
I think,
I think
it's
this is
Japanese.
Japanese. I want to say it's
Yeah.
Japanese. Yeah.
I've also heard this referred to as like marble soda
Mm.
because you'll notice. No, you don't see it yet. Well, you notice when you take off this little green part, there's like a marble on the inside. That's what's keeping it sealed. And we'll open these on air because this is Zach's first encounter.
Right now, I'm so excited.
Hey, let's do it. Daylong, do you usually rock with the original flavor? Is that your go-to?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
So you take off the cap.
Uh-huh.
It has like this little rim, and then it comes with a little like
Like
I don't
a
know
little-
spigot thingy
Yeah, a
of
little
some
pusher.
sort. And then you put your actual put your body weight into it because it's
You
gonna
gotta
be.
really-
We could like try at 3 if
Yeah.
you want. If all
Okay.
3 of us want to try.
Ready? 3,
One. Oh.
2, 1.
Oh, that's good.
And then you push the marble in and you have a little bevo.
What's the marble do?
It's what seals it.
Oh.
Yeah,
It smells
it's
delicious.
like a kind of like
Oh,
a
it's so
Spritey
yum.
situation.
Yeah, it always tastes to me kind of like, not totally like Smarties, but a little bit like Smarties.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the candy. I love it. I think it is
It even,
so quirky.
You
Yeah.
can hear it in the.
Mm.
You can hear the marbles.
I love that.
I paired these two together because I don't know. Adult jazz is just the fucking weirdest.
Yes.
Like, it's just the weirdest, and Ramoon, it's kind of the weird.
needed
It's
a weird
soda
soda.
as well, and it's also like adult jazz. Like the album, it takes like I don't know. I always view it as like a white, like a very like a white and like a static-iness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I have synesthesia. I just imagine what that would be
Yeah.
like. And
Yeah, it's very like clean sound, I feel like.
It feels like a very like January of an album as well.
Uh-huh.
I was
fuck yeah.
listening to it like, and I was like, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's also because like that's when I was listening to it. But I feel like if I had listened to this in like April or something,
Uh-huh.
I'd have been like, this feels colder to me. It feels more staticky. It feels more white.
It's the droning of just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's such a good through line through the record of just kind of like this.
Everything is kind of like, it's just all like together. It's so cool.
It's so cool. I'm so glad to have learned about this record.
Yeah.
Like,
And
can
so
you imagine?
they've got this record, which popped off. Obviously, it's got like millions of streams.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got just like a couple songs after this. You know what
Yeah,
happened to them?
so they just like popped off, and I'm pretty sure that this is probably just like a college. I don't know if this is exactly what it is, but this is just my assumption is that this was like a college project, and then they just kind of all fell off, and then like they decided to do just like a disco kind of situation,
Slay.
and then
I listened to the newer stuff and it was a little more electronic. Yeah.
it's a little electronic, and then they also like it gets weirder. They were like pushing how weird we could get. We pitched probably the most listenable album, I want to say.
Okay.
But they do have a few other ones that are like on the more listenable ends, but sometimes they're just like making syllables and just fucking around with like the synth.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's fun. Okay, well, before we get into this record track by track, I've got a game to play.
Hell yeah, love games.
So this is a game that Zach came up with that I am now co-opting and going to play with the two of you.
I get to field test it.
Yeah. This game is called Descriptify, and it is played using a website called Forgotify. On Spotify, Zach, do you remember how many songs are put out every single day?
Something that like upwards of like 60,000.
Yeah, like a crazy amount.
Yeah.
So by that metric, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of songs that no one has listened to yet. Like they've been put on Spotify, and just because of the sheer mass of it, there are songs that have never had their first play.
Oh, wow.
So in comes the website Forgotify, which finds songs on Spotify that have 0 plays.
0 plays.
And we are
And we'll
going
give them
to
1 play.
we're going to give these songs their first play.
So I just realized that when we hit play on a song, it's no longer on Forgetify.
Yeah.
We exile it from that realm.
We're kind of like taking in like foster puppy songs
I love
and
that.
putting them into our listeners' ears, and that's their new home.
Yeah.
All music deserves to be like listened to as
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is I am going to describe to you the name of the song, the name of the artist. I think some will have the album listed, so if that's there, I'll describe that. And then I'll also describe the cover art to you. You two are going to play against each other. You're actually mortal enemies now. And each of you, for each song, is going to tell me what you think you're going to hear in this song. So you might think like, I think I'm going to hear steel guitar, or I think I'm going to hear like monk cello vocals in a chamber or something like that. And if you are correct, I will give you a point, and we'll play until we're sick of it. This first song is titled One Day. This is by the artist Chris, with a K, T, off their album Skin to Skin. The cover art kind of looks like an iPhone picture of someone with like a goatee and a beard and very thick eyebrows, and they're wearing a beanie and they're kind of looking up, and it looks like it's been put through like a watercolor filter a couple of times.
Wow. This is some imagery.
Yeah. The artist named Chris T, who I assume is the one being pictured here, as well as the album title Skin to Skin, are also written on this in a font that looks a lot like papyrus, if you're familiar with that font.
That's the mountain that blew up.
No, I think that's Vesuvius. No. Zach, I'll have you go first. What do you think you're going to hear in this song?
Okay, so I thought Chris T was like a female vocalist, and I was imagining like some Rebecca Black.
Oh,
but
sure.
now that it's probably Chris T, and it's him with a goatee and what else?
They're wearing a beanie and they have a beard.
They've got a beard,
brown eyes, brown hair, dark beanie.
and the song's called One Day.
One Day.
You know what? I'm just gonna go out of left field. I bet maybe is it bluegrass? Is he?
Oh.
I guess.
Oh wow,
That's
that'd
an
be
interesting
some
guess.
mental gymnastics
Yeah.
if that's the case.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're weird. We did this game once, so
yes,
I'm gonna.
sometimes you don't know.
So I bet we hear a traditional instrument, a banjo or a mandolin.
Oh, kind of bluegrassy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Daylong, what do you think based on this description?
I'm gonna say some dad rock. We're gonna hear some dad rock from this dude. He's sporting the goatee, so you know.
Right. Let's see what's up. Okay, I'm just gonna pull it up on Spotify because it's not playing.
Oh no.
Okay, Chris T has kind of gone missing. So I think we're just gonna not know because I'm trying to search for him on Spotify. Well, you both get a point. Because I said so. The next song, which the play button looks like I can hit play. So
Okay, do you want to test it first?
no.
Okay.
This song is called Little Boy Lost, and the band name is Little Devils off of their album Diamonds and Poison. The album art is kind of wild. So we've got like what looks like another maybe like digital camera picture of a band performing together. But again, it looks like it's been put through like a Photoshop filter or like a photo editing app. So this time it looks kind of like the colors have been reversed and everything kind of looks like it's made out of like neon tubes. If you can picture that.
Yeah, so it's very bright then.
Very bright, very bright. But the image is also kind of squashed. The aspect ratio is a little fucked up.
Oh no,
And it's just
compression.
like in the center. It's like a rectangle in the center of
Oh no.
the square of the album art.
All right, Daylong, you're first this time, I think.
Yes.
We're gonna hear some synth, maybe some like I want to say some kind of like stock synth. I want to say,
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
and we're gonna hear some electric guitar as well.
Sure.
Tell me the band name again.
Little Devils.
I bet we hear a violin.
Okay. Let's find
Like
out.
some devil went down to Georgia.
Oh.
Show me you care, and show me you're there. Show me that you realize that life is always fair.
Oh, harmonica. I wouldn't have picked that out.
Yeah,
Love you.
I mean, I'm hearing some electric guitar.
Control what I think of you. You're
So
this is so not what I thought it was gonna
No.
be. To be quite honest. Oh, that's cool. That's really fucking cool.
That's a good saxophone line, yeah.
That is. These guys are talented as hell.
I'm going to give a point to Daylong and I'm going to give a point to Little Devils
Yeah.
for exceeding my expectations.
Yeah.
Okay, number next. This song is called All Night Bookstore. The artist's name is Craig Bennett, and this is off of their album Sweet and Twisted. The cover art is very interesting. So, in the center of this album, there is a drawing of a kind of sexy woman, just black and white, with very prominent eyes. And then blown up behind the drawing of the woman is the same drawing, but washed with blue. And it's kind of a sketchbook drawing.
Oh, this sounds great.
Yeah. It's just got such a particular expression that I'll show you after I play this for you. So Zach, based on this description, what do you think you're going to hear?
Okay, so I think because his last name's Bennett, he might be going for like a Tony Bennett.
Oh, sure. Kind of jazzy.
Yeah. I bet we hear, is crooner, is that the right word? For like I almost said Frank Zappa. Frank Sinatra.
Sure. Yeah. Like very like, oh.
Yeah, that fly me to that type of
Yeah.
I bet we hear some of that, and I bet the lyrics are about this woman painted in blue and other colors.
Oh, okay. At the all night bookstore.
At the all night bookstore.
Wow. You're building a lore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daylong, what do you think?
I'm gonna say some like sensual cafe music.
Ooh,
Oh.
I like that.
That's a good
What does
angle.
that even
Is it
mean?
like Brazil? Like, is it a bossa nova?
I don't know, but
I mean,
that's just what I get.
It's the vibe that will catch.
Yeah.
Sensual
We'll know.
cafe
We'll
music.
know. If we-
You know if something is or if it is not. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find out.
Strangers, there's so much more potential. I prefer strangers to people I know. 'Cause with strangers, there's so much more potential. Oh.
Huh.
That was beautiful.
That's
I don't know if I would call that sensual. That is giving me cafe.
yeah.
But I don't know about sensual.
It definitely gave very David Bowie, to be quite
Yeah.
honest.
Very.
And then, wow.
I'm going to
don't
show
think-
you this
I
woman.
don't think either of us got that point.
And that was
Look at this queen.
Oh wow. Oh.
Yeah. She took me by surprise.
I like it.
When I saw her. I went, "Oh, hello."
I like the eyes.
Yeah. She's really staring at you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say inconclusive. No points for that round. No points. No points. And we're going to go to the next song. This album art, so simple. Okay. The song is called Try by the artist Penny Black off of their album I Stole Your Crown. And the album art is just black text on white, Penny Black, I Stole Your Crown. It's kind of a circular, like thin text, if that says anything to you. How are we feeling? Daylong, what do you think you're going to hear from our friend Penny Black?
from Penny Black. I want to say we are going to hear some like steel drums, maybe.
This could work.
Oh. And there's not much the artwork's not giving us much to go off of.
I'll show you. I mean, there's very little to
Oh,
pull
yeah,
from
it's
here.
quite literally just that.
It's really.
And this kind of looks like JCPenney. Is that
it does look like the JCPenney logo. So we're really.
Penny Black is like for some reason giving me like sex bombs, like girl punk.
Oh.
But maybe not. Let's just go with that.
Okay, Sex Bomb. Okay.
A little more 90s alternative.
Wow.
This is solid. We've been getting good songs today.
Yeah.
I love that line, that guitar line.
Yeah.
That was super like poppy.
That's fine.
Okay, Penny. Zach, I'm going to give you that point. I think you were closer. Zach, how many points do you have?
I think I have one.
No, you have 2, because
Okay,
I
2.
gave you both a point one round.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Daylong,
So-
do you have 2 or 3?
I think I'm at 3.
3? Okay. Let's do one more, and this one is worth 5 million points. It's for all the marbles. One of the things that I just pulled up was just a cover of When the Saints Go Marching In, so I'm not going to do that.
I bet they say when the Saints go marching in.
Oh, uh-huh. Okay. This song is called Morning Paper. The band name is Reverie, and the album is called A Boy and His Crown.
A lot of crown stuff today.
Yeah. The album art kind of reminds me of, do you know the Bare Naked Ladies album Stunt? How it's like kind of a fucked up little guy.
I don't.
Oh, well, that'll help someone who's listening. It's like kind of a drawing of a young boy that's like a little bit off, and the boy is reaching toward a stump on the ground. The drawing kind of looks like it's done with like charcoal pencil, and on the stump is a golden crown. And the background is kind of blue and green, with very subtle trees in the background. Do with that what you will.
Tell me the band name again.
Reverie.
Reverie. And the song is
Morning Paper.
I feel like I'm like, where's Pepe Sylvia?
Yeah.
Trying to find the through line here. I bet we hear a Bryan Adams like 70s guitar lick.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess this is gonna be like an indie kind of thing. It's gonna be
Yeah.
some like Twinkie like voice kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it's that,
I like
actually.
both of these directions. I'm very, very curious. Okay, let's see what's up.
Distortion.
Kind of rockabilly.
Hard left hand. Guitars.
That was hard to read. I was not expecting that.
Yeah. I'm going to give you both 50 million points. So
Wow.
Daylong still wins by 1 point.
50 million.
But
and
you both
3,
have
and I've
a
got 50
lot
million
of
and 2.
points.
Oh,
This is what the cover art looks like.
That's kind of good.
Yeah. Congratulations to these artists for your first Spotify play, and thank you for putting music into the world. We're very happy to have discovered it. Now, let's get into some music that a lot of people have listened to, including us, several times now.
Several times.
And it's music that's really freaking cool. Let's get into Just Is. Should we just dive right into the opening track?
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Cool.
Yeah. You can dive into this drone. It's like a
Oh yeah,
soft
it's gonna be
lake.
like 4 minutes of drone. I forget
Yeah.
about that.
Oh my gosh.
But it's so beautiful.
It's
It
really
It's like
is.
perfectly like done.
Yeah. I know there was a lot of like kind of religious themes on this album and
Mhm.
like in the lives of these artists. So it almost starts to feel kind of like a distant organ or something. Like
Mhm.
yeah, warming up or something like that. This I was reading the I think it was the Pitchfork review of this album, and it was talking about how most of the songs on this, they were like, which are seldom less than 5 minutes long. Like I feel like this is an album you really sit with for a while
Uh-huh.
and just kind of get lost in and go for a really long run.
Yeah. Yeah, the songs kind of like go in and out of each other. Like one track will have like 2 or 3 motifs in it, right? Or like 2 or 3 kind of sections that could be
Yeah.
individual songs.
Which is, I guess, kind of like jazz.
I don't like jazz.
Kinda
I
like
thought
jazz.
about it
It's like jazz.
like first listen. I thought about it like if you ever ate a donut that was cream filled and you didn't realize it was cream filled.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like this happy, delightful
yeah.
surprise.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm disgusted because I'm like, oh no, I was not expecting this.
Yeah.
But then inside the cream is another donut with another cream filling in it.
Oh my gosh.
That's what this album was to me.
It's like there's another donut and that donut has jelly in it.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I was like, no,
I
this
thought
isn't
it
just a
was just a
drone. There's
donut.
also like drums come in. And
yeah.
there
there's like crazy piano.
there was
or
cream
whatever.
filling. Yeah.
Yeah. I love asking this question. Daylong, how do you feel about Hum as the opening track?
As that's probably the most wild thing when it comes to like music because
Uh-huh.
like you're really just gonna open up with just 4 minutes of just that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so baller for them to do because like they're like, no, this is adult jazz. This is as a jazz like as you can get,
Right,
Because
right.
we're gonna like just do like not the conventional thing,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna be. I'm just like blushing because it's like such a beautiful like
It is.
thing. It's just like exists, and it makes me happy that people are making art like that still, even though it's not conventionally like what will become popular, but this is popular.
Yeah.
And that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
That it's not a pop song. That's
Mm.
pretty much what it's saying.
Right. Very much.
Yeah, that is a statement. If you're gonna open up with a 4-minute drone, you are the pop listeners stop listening 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
It's more like 2 seconds in.
That reminds me, I saw this quote from Harry Burgess, who's the singer on I think all of these tracks.
That's so cool.
Who he said, quote, "If you do what comes naturally, it feels good, but that's quite often the same thing as everyone else." So it's like, yeah, they weren't going to make a pop record. They were going to like really challenge themselves and kind of, I guess, challenge the audience a little bit to sit with some weirdness and get experimental and kind of alien.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's so cool. And
It's
we
really
get to
good.
live in the same timeline as adult jazz.
I know, and that's so
Like, that's so
cool.
lucky. Like, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Our, like, great ancestors never got to hear adult jazz. What a special honor we have.
Yeah, they really missed out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now they am gone.
Now they-
Track number 2 is called Am Gone. Actually, I lied. There's a part of Hum I want to listen to. Because it does start really, really drony. And that's when I was really feeling like the Bon Iver of it all.
Uh-huh.
20 to a Million by Bon Iver came out, I think, after this album. But I was very much getting that. And I guess his earlier stuff has that too. But then, like, 3.5 minutes in, these, like, drums kick in.
And is it with the lyrics "Born a Cockroach," right? We'll find out.
Yes, it is.
I had the same note. Yeah,
Yes, it
this
is. And so I was, like, doing my dishes and listening to this song, and these drums kick in, and I had my headphones in, and I started shaking my butt a little bit. I was like, wait, I didn't know I was going to be able to dance to this a little bit. That's so fun. So I'm going to go ahead and play that little bit.
Was I born to roll the belly crawling ground? Just as I suppose, I hear a holy hum. Does thy essence
building on itself.
It's really good.
It's so fun.
There's that drunk jazz or that drunk drum you were talking
Yeah,
about. Right?
Yeah, totally.
And like the octave with that, whatever sound that is that like this? It's a brass of some sort. I
I can't
think.
tell if it's like still his voice just pitched way down and like synthesized.
Oh, but I also know what you're saying. There's like that horn that comes in.
Yeah, it's like bah.
And I can't tell if it's, I don't know, horn names very well, but I love the addition of it.
Yeah.
And then even we heard a little bit that like chime or something, whatever that was. It's just so fun and so kooky.
Do you want to talk about the lyrical content of this one before we move on?
Sure. What are you thinking?
It's
What are you
kind
thinking?
of heavy, but it's so good.
Mhm.
If I'm not mistaken, he's talking about just kind of like a little bit of religious trauma,
Yeah.
but just really cool stuff to write about in 2014. Especially like, man, I can't believe that like same-sex marriage was only legalized in 2013.
Yeah, dog.
Like,
Yeah.
some crazy stuff.
I was a freshman in high school. Like, that's kind of crazy
Yeah.
sauce. I did see, again, when I was, like, reading for this episode, that I think it was Harry was leading, like, a youth group at their church and came out as not straight. I don't think I saw specifically, but that doesn't matter. They like came out and the church got wind of it, and I think they were like 19 and got asked to like stop teaching the youth group and tried to like go and like talk with these people and say like, hey, like I like working with these kids, like what's up with that? And they were just so like, it's Adam and Eve.
Oh wow!
You know?
So like the persecution he's talking about in this song happened to him. Sounds like to
one degree or another.
Man.
Yeah, so that literal like the minister will heal me or whatever, like it does seem like there's some firsthand experience, which I know is really unfortunate and really common and frustrating.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I know that happens a lot on this album. Just kind of a frustration with like people and morality and like what makes you a good person. Like, are you good because you do like what your minister says, or are you good because you are nice to people, or like, you know, stuff like that.
And Christianity is like It makes me so upset because, like,
Yeah.
how are you supposed to teach like actual like love and all that stuff, and then like just right after, like immediately right after, just like that mask just turns right off,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh no, we actually hate them.
Right.
My parents actually were a youth group like pastors and stuff
Oh.
like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just insane. Like, I've seen everything that the church does because it's a company. It's
Totally.
just a
Yeah.
company.
Absolutely.
And it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much. Very much. I also like grew up religious when I was a kid, but am not now. And there is that it's so hard, like, as a queer person to, I don't know, like, separate yourself from it, I guess. Or not separate yourself from, like, being religious, but separate yourself from the ick that a lot of organized religion gives because of the way they treat you or members of your community or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
it's
like-
completely different. It's a completely different world as well that
Totally.
they're living in.
Totally.
And it's so dystopian.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, it just makes me, when you see someone that is still within that like world, and you're like, wow, you are not like experiencing everything that you could be experiencing. That's so unfortunate because like sometimes people would be happier and they just don't know. They're just so repressed.
They're on good points.
You're
yeah.
absolutely right. Like, they don't know that, you know, people always say, like, the grass is greener on the other side, but, like, they maybe don't even know there's other grass.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And we're just talking about regular Christianity. There's like some sects that are like just literally cults.
Oh, straight up. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
But I think this song really sonically and lyrically like just does a really nice job about portraying this emotion that we're talking about.
Totally.
I really, really love the line. I think it's very well written. On my shook soul, at the nave and at the navel. Do you know what a knave is?
Isn't it like a silly goose, like a dumb person?
No, well, maybe.
I don't know.
In this context,
I could be
think
wrong.
he's talking about like the part of the church where people sit.
Oh.
So he's like at the navel. I'm interpreting it as like he shook, like it's like stomach sick.
Like to the core.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And at the nave and at the navel, is just, and the way he delivers it, it's just good
Yeah.
rhyming.
Yeah,
Good,
a lot of these songs feel like worship, kind of.
Yeah.
In a way. Just like sonically.
Yeah, he.
Ooh.
I'll pull the quote later, but he does talk about how he emulates the bringing up the highs and bringing it low of a worship service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a line on the I'm Gone that really stuck with me, kind of in this same religious realm and sort of like living your life truthfully and like authentically. If up above some lunch does simmer, I cannot spend life fork in quivering hand. Hi, hello.
Yeah.
That's fucking poetry. I like read that. I feel like this album definitely like a lot of it is so like the words and the vocals are very like instrumental almost. Like it's not always super clear what the words are. And I don't think it's always intended to be. But sometimes when you look, like I listened to this first without looking at any of the lyrics, and then I listened and I looked at the lyrics, and some of them were like a gut punch. They're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that one in particular, I think it closes Am Gone, but very like if people want me to like be a straight person to get into heaven, like if that is the reward, like I'm not going to spend my life like anticipating that, something that like maybe exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tea for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I just found myself consistently so impressed with this record.
Yeah. 100%. Like tackling a tough subject, like with so much elegance, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I really love when he says, Honolulu, whatever the ad lib is.
One of the weird things, or it's not weird, but it's like I like there's the sugar.
Oh, he
Yeah.
says sugar a lot in this
Yeah,
record. Yeah.
there's a lot of references to sugar, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, what is that sweetness that like you're?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah, that craving or that sort of, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sort of fix.
Yeah, this album also gets kind of luxurious at times. I don't know if that's the best word for it, but like there's like a temptation. It's very delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like treat yourself. Is that kind of the vibe?
Like treat yourself and fuck it if your pastor says no.
Yeah.
And I would like that needle pointed on a throw pillow, please. Swag.
Nice. This one's like a great strutting tempo. I meant to find the BPM, but you know what I mean when you just hear a song that's like the right strutting tempo.
For Am Gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
One
you
of
know what
my
I
one of my notes was like pretty consistent groove.
Yeah. Like you can strut to this one.
I'm gonna play it. Let's
Yeah, I would love
imagine
to
a
hear it.
strut.
Yeah.
I was always a runner. I was always a runner, you know. I was always a runner, became a forgiver, and now I have nothing to show.
They leave a lot of space, you know what I mean? Like they're not filling up every second.
You don't need to.
No.
Yeah.
You really don't need to. If it's really truly just art, that's just how the art is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It breathes really nice.
It is.
I was the way that you
That's kind of like a laid back strut, not very springful.
Yeah.
Track number 3, Springful.
Whoa. You did that so quickly it like didn't even register in my brain.
I saw you not following me.
I totally
I didn't see the
it.
light in your eyes like I normally do when I make a pun into a
Aw.
transition. Yeah.
Cute.
So this is the first one that I felt like a jelly-filled donut.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's got quite a few movements in it.
Yeah. This is a longer one. This is
Yeah.
a longer one.
So one of my favorite parts in this track 3, Springful, is this guitar lick. And just like the guitar tone overall of the record. Daylong, you're a very talented guitar player. Do you have any thoughts about the guitar tone in general? And then we'll talk specifically about this lick we'll play.
Yeah. I love how like clean and like how twangy it could get.
Yeah.
They're like unapologetically jazz about literally everything. That's why it's
Yeah.
called adult jazz. And it's just so fun. Like, especially with the like slap a little bit of reverb on there, and like that's just about it. It's like the bread and butter of just guitar.
There's really like, which is such a bold move, especially as someone who plays a little shoegaze, where you, like, it's such a bold move to just have your guitar tone so naked, like no effects on it, like nothing to hide what you're playing or enhance it, right? So let's play this lick real fast. It's at 302.
So let us join up and be springful. Your provision is more than enough. So let us join up and be
So
grateful.
twangy.
Yeah, he's really hitting the strings.
I also love whatever like that synth kind of like drummy, like
Yeah.
whatever that sound is.
And whatever this noise is.
You got some like reverse guitar, I'm assuming.
Oh,
And
that's what that is probably, yeah.
beautiful vocals.
So beautiful.
Goes straight to the falsetto.
Yeah.
They do falsetto fantastically in this album.
Uh-huh.
That is like something that's so fucking beautiful. Like that guy has like one of the coolest voices. Like it's just so like creamy and just so like it just goes.
Yeah. I think creamy is a really good word for it.
Uh-huh.
Like it just glides. It's like icing on a cake.
Yeah.
I do feel like listening to these songs sometimes when we were just listening and talking now and talking about all the different elements, it kind of feels like a little like, I don't do math, but like a calculus problem or something. Where you're like trying to piece together. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, oh my gosh.
It's like deconstructing.
Yeah.
It's great to deconstruct music because then you could create it yourself. And
There
then
you go.
Totally. Or it almost feels like maybe I've said this before on the podcast, but like a mindfulness exercise, you know, when your therapist is like, what are 5 things you can hear and 5 things you can see, or whatever, things like that.
You just need 1 second of this song for 5 things you can hear.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think they called themselves Adult Jazz? Because it's such a like tongue-in-cheek name.
It's because it's tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly why. It's because it's like, I want to say that since it seems like they were doing it because of college, like they're like, what is just like the most like, because all of their things are like, all of their songs are like that, to be quite honest. They're all like tongue in cheek, but like they all have like an alternative like meaning, and like, because like what you said earlier is like their lyrics are never exactly what they're about.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
like, it's so cool.
I think it's such a funny name, and it's at the same time very like what the music is, but also like not what you think the music would be. Like going into this blind, I was like, I wonder what I'm gonna hear. They're called Adult Jazz.
Yeah.
And then I met with this like synthy, experimental, like really cool, beautiful. I was so pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so was I.
I will say the search engine results for Adult Jazz, I was getting a lot of dance classes.
You have to be careful about that A. You can't.
Oh no! We had different Google searches. Should we go on to track number 4?
Yeah, speaking of things that don't quite make sense, what is a Don tongue?
I was doing some Googling on this. So I don't know how, like, I think this is a French word, don, and I never took French, so I don't know how to pronounce it. But I think it means like feminine, female, like is what my Google results yielded. Well, this is kind of a horny song, a little bit.
It's a feminine tongue. That's kind of a nice way to say it without like sounding too adult.
Too Adult Jazz. Yeah.
I had a dream with this song.
Really?
Sometimes I dream and like it's sometimes animated, and I could also sometimes hear like songs. And this was one that like is, I think it was about 4 years ago in Nashville. I used to live in Nashville and all that stuff, and it's like stuck with me so much that like this song means the world to me, and that's why I wanted to do Adult Jazz.
Nice.
I think that if you want me to describe my dream, if you don't mind,
I want to. I want you to do that.
Of course.
So imagine like the animation style of Adventure Time.
Love.
And I just like slayed a vampire of some sort, and there's a bunch of souls on the ground, and there's like marbles. And you have to pick up those marbles, and then I accidentally slipped. Then I broke my neck. And then title screen. So they're
that's
just
just that.
I'm watching credits in my own fucking life.
Dream
bro.
about credits? That's an
Well, and
imagine.
then Donatone that was playing during the credit screen.
That's kind of awesome. Well, it's not awesome that you slipped and fell, but that's very
happens, you know?
cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dreams do that.
I gotta start a dream journal. That's crazy.
That is crazy. So, like, what? Because it seems like this was really memorable. Was there anything about it in particular that stuck with you from that?
I think they have a very good way to portray emotions with their just guitars in general.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like their instruments, and like they always pick like the weirdest things, but they're always like usually live. They stay live with their instruments, and it's so cool.
That is really cool.
That's sick.
I agree. They have this really like guttural kind of like if a song feels sad, it feels like so sad, or if it feels like hopeful, it feels so hopeful, or something like that.
I can agree.
Yeah.
I
like,
feel this all the time.
yes. It's a great album for very sensitive people. Yeah. It's just so lovely.
That's so good. Can we figure out what they're trying to feel at 108 with
Sure.
these guitar clamors?
Ooh.
I bet you're a big
Guitar
fan of
clamors.
these. That's the best way I could describe it. It's just this clamor of guitar.
Let's
like
get
that.
clamoring.
Yeah. So angular, right?
Yeah.
I can just like see the face they're making when they play those.
Oh, this stank face.
Jazz I hope they are. I make it every time I hear it. Like you just kind of feel something after that, don't you?
The bliss afterwards.
You like take a breath.
Yeah, because it does feel better, right? His angelic presence.
Yeah.
Is an artifact of offer and cloying an eye.
So I think we're getting close to the Plato reference.
These sounds, like what are these sounds? They're fun. They like probably were in the studio and just picking up literally, I don't know, like what are those like little wooden?
Yeah, like a
thingies?
wood
The
block.
little, like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. It does feel like they went studio shopping a little bit.
Yeah, they're like, what's happening?
Yeah.
We're going to go for the thing on the back of the shelf that nobody's touched in a while, and we're going to make it sound really fun.
With my album with Unchristian Thoughts. Actually, no, it's not Unchristian Thoughts. It's for my song Someone. We used a bunch of different whiskey bottles at different levels of like liquid. So it has different like frequency, like boom, 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 boom. And then we like,
Yeah.
we then took it all and then split it.
What's the name of the track? We'll link it in the description.
Someone.
Someone.
Yeah, and it has like it makes me so happy. That's so
Yeah. It's fun. I love an unconventional, like, it's a sound that nothing else is going to achieve. Like, just getting in there, nitty gritty, and measuring out liquid and whiskey bottles. It's so fun.
I was talking to someone recently that as soon as you use a sound that is like common in your era or easily reproduced, it's instantly dated.
Oh.
Like as soon as like think of like, I don't know, T-Pain's like auto-tune voice, you know what I mean?
Sure,
like
sure.
as soon as you use that sound, it's like instantly like, oh, it sounds like T-Pain. Or,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So the fact like that you created a sound, like no one's ever hit that exact bottle with that exact amount of liquid. So like that's a brand new sound. It's like it's not dated.
Yeah. Starting a new era.
A new thing. I wonder what pigeon skulls sound like if you put them in a song.
Oh, I don't want
That's
to
an
think
awful
about
transition. Also, I hate the idea of thinking about pigeon skulls.
There's this, I don't know if you've ever been, there's this really crazy store in Andersonville called the Woolly Mammoth.
No.
Have either of you heard of this?
have.
Have you been?
I work Uber Eats, so I'm always driving around, and they have the weirdest like entrance.
Yeah. It's this crazy store. I bet they would have pigeon skulls. You go in and there are like fingers and like formaldehyde, and there's like cat skeletons and like a jar full of teeth.
Love an oddity
and
store.
yeah, it's
spooky.
crazy. You're not allowed to take pictures in there. Like period. They will yell at you. But it's really fun. I like to go sometimes if I'm up there. So I bet they know what pigeons sound like.
Let's go ask them and find out.
Yeah.
I want to go to freesounds.org and put in pigeon skull and see what we can find to put in.
Clink.
Can we take 5?
Absolutely.
All right, little Einsteins, all you mathematicians, all you little babies that can count to 4. I actually don't know what time signature this one's in, or if it's even in a time signature. But we're still talking about pigeon skulls, and I just like this mathy riff. It's like bright and clean, but a little strange. Is that 418? I think it's a 9.
Thank you guys for my heart and supper. That should be now.
There's so much tempo variation too. How did they record this? Gods.
Yeah, for real. Oh my goodness, it's so wild.
But more of that clean tone, and their picking hand is like really intense, don't you think? Like they're attacking pretty hard.
They are, and they're also like, I love that. That kind of like a symbol kind of moment that they're having.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel the entire like emotion that like that drummer
Yeah.
specifically was
It's like
wanting
a big
to convey.
wave.
Yeah. Sorry about that. You guys spooked me.
Oh, sorry. This is the longest. Is this the? Yeah. This is the longest one on the album. Oh my goodness, she's an opus. She is an opus.
It's really A magnum opus. if
I
you
don't
will.
know if this is our longest song we've talked about on the podcast, though. I think we've had like a 13-minute or something, if I remember
I think,
correctly.
is there a Wilco tune we talked about that was like 13 minutes with drone?
Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
Freaking Wilco.
It's about his migraines, okay?
Yeah, okay, all right. I'll give it to him. I didn't get tired during this one, though. I think sometimes
no, this was fine.
if a song is like, longer, more significantly long like this, sometimes, I don't know, I kind of have a short attention span in general. So
Same.
I'll start to like lose stamina a little bit or like check the clock. But I was really vibing with this one. I think it's really helped by the amount of like variation that they have, and I don't know, they just keep it interesting the whole time. I think
Yeah.
it's fun.
Like the segments. They
Yeah.
go through like multiple segments within the song. And it's like, I think it's just so cool that they can do that. Like I feel like the like jazz doesn't necessarily have any like constructs that it has to follow. It could just do what it feels like.
Totally.
And it's so relieving and like so like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Just to kind of follow the vibe.
Yeah.
Go where your heart leads you, which is so jazz. I'm always so like, I'm so admirative. I really admire jazz musicians and like the way that they're so like, if you have like four people up there, they're so like intuitive with each other, you know? And you can like if when you go see like a jazz quartet play, you'll hear the drummer maybe start to do a little something extra, and then everyone else kind of like steps back because they're like, oh, the drummer's about to do something.
Oh, yeah.
Like I just think that's so cool just to listen like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was a similar vibe collaboratively with adult jazz, where they just kind of like trust. I think
That's
that's
cool.
awesome.
That's so sick.
I have a little segment I want to play. My note about this part is like almost 3 minutes in, and I said that it just blows up and sounds ethereal, which I'm a big fan of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go
Otherworldly
ahead.
is so cool. It's
Oh
so
my
beautiful.
gosh. It's so, so good. Let's vibe out, y'all.
It's so wild because like the guitar that they're using, like obviously it's a guitar, but they use it in like not a guitar way.
Yeah.
They like these are just sounds, and it's not traditional.
And then that horn.
Again, like these, like almost every song on this album is like 10 minutes long. So, yeah.
Oh, it's so fun to listen to, though. I love
is
those
good.
big old, big drums. I listen to that, and I just imagine the biggest drum you've ever seen. And someone just boom, 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 like banging on it.
Like the like orchestral kind of.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Exactly.
That's so good.
Oh, that was just, I think that was like one of my favorite parts listening to this the first time. Like, I feel like sometimes I sort of zone in and out, and this is one of the moments where I like really clocked in for a second, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I really am enjoying this.
I've got a little snip here, but I forget the main guy's name.
Harry?
This is what he had to say in an interview about this song, and I think it's so cool. This song was set in a church service where the character is really trying, and at the end really reaching toward being able to speak in tongues and have some kind of spiritual awakening or epiphany. The song structure kind of reflects that music, and also pop music in general. Lots of bands have this worshipy service aesthetic where they'll take you down slow and reflective and then bring you up tight in a repeated refrain. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That he's kind of, like, it's weird that he's like kind of experiencing this religious trauma, but then also like pitting that style of music into the song.
Yeah, it is really neat.
Yeah.
I wonder if either of you think that that is something that can be healing.
Yeah, or is it like Stockholm Syndrome?
Oh, well, that's, I guess, the other side of the
probably,
coin.
right? Yeah, you
Yeah.
really got to accept it.
Like my like creative background is primarily in like photography. And when I was in school, a lot of people, if they perhaps wanted to explore religion or something like that, they would sort of take the framework of it. So they might take like imagery of like a saint or something and then kind of subvert it
Yeah.
and make it their own thing. And maybe the saint is like, I don't know, holding a dead bird or something. Yeah, I don't know.
3-day glasses on. He's doing a kickflip.
He's doing a kickflip and it's really awesome. Or he's wearing lingerie
Ooh.
or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, something to kind of.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
But I could kind of see that maybe happening here. It's like maybe it's something that like you were exposed to a lot as a kid and it feels familiar, but you kind of want to do it in a way that feels like safer, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I was like a lot of my first musical experiences were that worship band experience.
Oh,
same.
yeah.
And so it's like it's so weird to like think back about that. This like brought me back some of the stuff he was talking about and
Religious
Oh.
trauma. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Going to it. Hell yeah.
but yeah, I mean some of the music was good, right? I mean, I love 3 chords and suspended chords and stuff like that. But like I'm glad that I am in an environment where music is used for better things.
Yeah. Well, you just reminded me. Did you ever see? I think it was like a tweet or something where it was like, when I was a kid, I thought I was really religious because I loved the music that the band played at my like mega
It was
church.
a concert.
And then
It was a concert.
and then I just listened to One Direction and realized I just like music.
Yeah.
I don't know if you relate.
That Tingle's not God. That's just like a good bass player.
Exactly.
You weren't having a religious experience. You just like felt like a 5-chord resolved to 1 really nice.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
I went to like a chill Lutheran church and all the music was pretty boring. It was
Aw.
like very classic like organ and like la la la, we're singing a hymn. Like it wasn't, not that I would have preferred to go to a different church because of what I've heard from people who did grow up in that environment, but I was like, this is boring. I would just zone out.
Dang. Would you call those chants idiot mantras?
Yeah, I would call them idiot mantras. Absolutely.
I love the idea of an idiot mantra.
I love it. I love it. I should, instead of like a New Year's resolution, I think we should all pick like an idiot mantra for the year.
Mhm.
Like just a little bit of delusion
Sure,
or
yes.
something, which I would need time to think on. But perhaps, dear listener, there's an idiot mantra that you've been wanting to implement in your life. And the 3 of us here would like to support you in that journey.
What is it? It's like, I am wealthy, I am loved. Like that's like a mantra, right? There's ones that go like that.
I was like in a yoga class recently where they were like, I inhale love and I exhale uncertainty or something.
I inhale Baja Blast.
And I exhale out of my butt.
That's a good idiot mantra.
Is that stupid enough?
Yeah, I like it. Gonna meditate to that one in the morning.
We should like get on like Headspace or on like
Yeah.
Home app or something.
That would be really good.
Just reading some idiot mantras.
Just do a spoof of like the normal.
Yeah, totally. Like a normal meditation.
Can we play some of the mantra he says in an idiot form?
Yeah, at the beginning.
I think it's at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, because this is where it's kind of like nonsensical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he's spoofing on religion in this one?
Oh.
I think he's like, whatever state of mind that he's in, he's very animalistic.
Yeah.
It is kind
It's
of
very tribal. Very,
yeah, it is kind of like world music-y.
Mhm.
Listen to this part. Nice headphones. I love the snap.
Like the panning, with the
Yeah.
left and right.
So cool. What a good song to kind of like sink in the back of the album. Like just catch him a little weird.
To wake you back
Got a
up.
little zany with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun and weird, and especially right after Spook, right?
Yeah, totally.
Do you ever do nonsense words in Daylong records?
I don't usually. With my lyrics, I like to have like my little OCD moments and get extremely specific with
Hell
articulation
yeah.
and stuff like that. Most of my lyrics are about like being real, like the unmasking of. I just
Yeah.
really don't like masking.
Yeah.
And I think that human like emotions are the most beautiful thing, and that like unfortunately society has like made us have to mask in front of everyone,
Mhm.
and it just never turns off.
There's something really hard to do, but really rewarding about like the authentic self. Like,
Yeah.
where are you when you're not thinking about other people's perceptions?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I do that a lot. I think I think about people's perspectives a little bit too much, and sometimes I get nonverbal, which is a fun like observation.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I feel like I got like confronted with a lot of that like in therapy this year of like experiencing emotions solely for yourself and your experience versus experiencing emotions the way that other people might find more palatable,
Oh yeah.
you know? Like being angry if you're angry or being sad if you're sad, and like kind of trusting your gut there and just like fucking being honest with yourself, because otherwise it feels bad.
Yeah.
Like it does not feel good to suppress. I mean, to bring it back to this record, I feel like that's a huge theme. Even on the next track on Be a Girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a girl, but like the whole like, well, boys don't cry, and it's like,
He's like, so what? I'll just be a girl.
Yeah, I'll just be a
he's
girl
like,
then.
I can. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
That's how I feel, because like it sucks that our gender is so made already by the time we were born.
Yeah.
Like, why am I being put into blue?
Yeah.
I maybe I don't feel that way.
It is so silly when you really like think about assigning characteristics to a person like before you know anything about them or their brain.
Yeah.
I think is so goofy.
Their preferences or their likes or their skills or
Yeah.
their talents. You're just like mold.
You're just like,
That's dumb.
ladies man, straight boy, let's go. And it's like, you don't know anything about this kid. You just fucking met them.
Yeah.
Like, be open. But yeah, like on Be a Girl, I really appreciate, I mean, we've been kind of saying all of this like very strong emotion and like soft falsetto, and there's just this realness to a lot of the lyrics and a lot of the vocal delivery. And so I really respect this, like, you know what? I don't give a fuck if you think I'm like not masculine enough or you think I'm like whatever. Like, my gendered experience is my own, and if that means something else to you, like, so be it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in touch with my emotions, and that's a flex.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And to do
It
it in
is.
such a bop.
And to do it in such a bop.
And to just do it as catchy as hell.
Yeah. Like, when Be a Girl ends, it really feels like a mic drop.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the last little bit real quick.
There's a need for being so beyond the hilltop, the main character who carries a claw with him and twitches as if thick and silken skin when stung and uncaught the pores. And if Mellis won't sob, then be a girl.
Mic drop.
Period. I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's
Yeah.
iconic. We love crying and embracing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think more people need to do it.
Freaking cry and cry in front of people and be honest with people.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
And the most insane thing is that a lot of times when that happens, people like associate it with like BPD, and
Yeah.
like they say that you have borderline like personality disorders, or just like there's something wrong with you. But isn't that not just the most like human reaction?
Yeah.
Like in a society that like we're in a very weird moment of time
Yes.
when it comes to the society that we live in. Like,
yeah.
aren't we just like animals? Like we're just supposed to be eating and
I was just supposed to pick fruit and vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I gotta pay taxes?
I know, and all those taxes are like, they're messing me up.
And
they're
you're surprised I'm sad?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to pay taxes and feel the collective grief of the world all the time, which I get putting down your phone for that reason also. Yeah, it just takes such a toll. And like, are you not going to freaking weep about that? There's nothing wrong with you if you have to cry a bunch.
Feel the emotion that you want to feel.
Yeah.
Got emotions about dogs?
I
Feel
have
those
a
ones
lot of
too.
emotions about dogs. Okay, talking about crying, this last song when I was looking
Really
at the
sweet.
lyrics.
I cuddled my dog during it. I stopped taking notes. I just pet him.
Yeah. I was reading the lyrics to this one and I was like, oh my God. I love dogs. Daylong, how do you feel about Bone Digger? Just kind of as a closer or like as kind of a theme?
I just think it's so goddamn smart.
It is.
I had for a couple like months of like first like listening to it, absolutely no clue what it was about. Because like usually I do like I have my like hyperfixations on songs, so I'm listening to more of the actual like sonic like version of it,
Yeah.
and then like I eventually worked my way to like the lyrics. I had no clue that it was about a dog for a long
Totally.
time. I had no fucking clue.
Because you listen to it and it's not, I mean, they're very smart in this way. It's never very like overt and like, this is
You have to
about a
think
dog.
about it.
Yeah, it's very like, if you know, you know.
I read the first verse and I thought this was like going to be some extended metaphor. Like, we keep the quail, he does not forget, and cut his claws to kitchen feet. I'm like, ooh, is this like, who's this about? Like, no, it's about the dog.
It's about like Mothman.
Like, whose metaphorical tail are we clipping? Like,
Yeah,
because if
yeah.
it's so smart, this
Oh my gosh, they're so smart.
it's really good.
When I was looking at the lyrics to this one, they're singing about this like family dog, and I think I was like reading an interview and it was like you kind of think about this relationship that like humans have with domestic dogs, but a lot of that relationship is like how humans feel about it, because like dogs can't really say.
Yeah.
So it's very like the person's like looking at this dog and the dog's like wagging their tail and like looking at them and you're like, oh my God, he's happy. He loves me so much. And that's like, dogs can't talk. So like they can't say like, I'm looking at you because I need to go to the bathroom or something. So they're talking about like how sometimes weird human and dog relationships can be. But there's this line, they're talking about like the dog in the context of the family and they're like, he's at the bottom of us, as if he's like the lowest rung on the family ladder, which I think is often the case. But they've never met my mom's dog, Max, because he is her child. And he gets a mountain of blankets that she sets up for him. And every night he tucks himself in like a little burrito and sleeps so soundly.
Thanks.
Yeah. I was just thinking about him.
Yeah, I think it could be tricky to like write this type of song about like something everyone has got such a close connection with. Like everyone's got a dog they love, unless you don't like dogs, in which case don't listen to our podcast.
You can still stay listening if you like cats or rabbits.
If you like cats or
I'll give you a
rabbits.
pass for that.
We'll allow it. But yeah, to do it in a way that's like not too cheesy.
Right.
It's probably like a hard task, but they pull it off.
Yeah, they could have wrote Who Let the Dogs Out, but
Yeah,
they wrote
no.
Bone Digger instead.
It's so beautiful that it's about a dog too. To be honest, like, dang.
Yeah, a kind of happy little thing after all that emotion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. They just leave you with this album. Think about dogs. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of like interesting to listen to. Like I think the sort of chorusy part there where they're repeating like bone digger, like it gets stuck in my head and it's like a little like kind of haunting. I don't know. Like it's still very interesting.
Can I tell you the first thing I thought of when I read the title Bone Digger?
Huh.
You've seen I Think You Should Leave?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Do you know the one where he's like, the bones are their money, so are the worms?
I like the one with the hair and all that stuff.
I was like, is this a gold digger, but the bones are their money?
I guess for a dog, kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah.
The bones are their money.
Yeah. Of the regular variety and of
Yeah.
the milk variety. Well, I mean, we've made it through all the tracks.
Oh.
Do either of you have any sort of overall closing thoughts about this album before we take a sec to talk about Urubuski?
just a great album. Like 50 minutes of just like no skips for me.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
like
a
one of the
no-skipper.
coolest things
Just
about
like
this.
50 minutes of like just I can sit down and listen and find 5 things in every second. And about content that resonates, I think, with me and a lot of people of our generation, and just really, really powerful stuff.
Yeah, it's something I would recommend to people for sure.
Did this make any lists? Do you know? Did this make any like top album lists?
I don't know.
I don't think so, because the numbers aren't necessarily like all the way up there, like
Yeah.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
But this is like some like fun, like, ooh, what's this like taste of like espresso?
Yeah.
What kind of
Yeah.
drink? It's very niche. And it's
Is this
very-
like one you would say like people slept on?
I think so, because I
Yeah.
think like out of like all the people that I've like talked to about music, like maybe like 1 or 2 have like known adult jazz, and whenever they know adult jazz, it's like, oh, you know adult jazz. and then we go into like a hyper fixation conversation about it.
It does
That's so
feel
cool.
very like a musician's musician.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I love bands like that.
Yeah, it's really fun. Okay, well, let's take a pause. I also need to use the restroom, but we can take a moment to talk about an award. And when we come back, we're gonna give an award to adult jazz. Stay tuned. Folks, what a wonderful episode we've had. What a wonderful record we've listened to. So wonderful, in fact, that we'd like to give it a Rebruski. To the album Just Is by Adult Jazz. You are so full of sugar. You have the softest teeth I know. Congratulations.
Made my teeth soft too.
They're like goo. Happy 2024, everybody. We are Album Rebrews, and we will continue to be Album Rebrews. If you want to check us out on Twitter or Instagram, it is at Album Rebrews. Or if you want to take a look at our website, it is www.albumrebrews.com.
Another huge thanks. Not another. This is the first thanks. To our editor and songwriter extraordinaire, Cameron Bopp. Go check him out at X. Is he still doing that? Is he on a different site yet?
No, he's still
Oh,
on
no.
I think he might be on Threads, but I don't want to plug Threads. I, think it's silly.
I'm not starting the year off with that energy.
I guess let's still plug Twitter.
It's Cambop, CAMBOPP. Another huge thanks to Daylongsigh for coming on. Thank you so much. This was a great episode. We loved it.
Thank you guys.
Check out their record, Unchristian Thoughts, wherever you listen to music. You can find it linked below as well. You can check them out live January 20th, a DIY show, DM for address, which you should DM them at Daylongsigh _DAYLONGSIGH_. And then check them out February 15th at Shuba's with Rosa Noir. And that is going to be an amazing show as well.
So excited for it.
Anything else you'd like to say to the folks at home before we get on out of here?
Be yourself. Be your god. You know, I think adult jazz is really cool. And listen to more zany music, because I think that you'll find yourself just living a life that's more godlike if you do.
I love that. Hey,
Yes, chef.
2024, let's be godlike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period. Okay, well, to finally close it out, we're going to get very, very close to the microphone and say a tender ASMR style goodbye in the same order that we introduced ourselves. So I'll go first. Skibidi-bidi-bidi-ba. Goodbye.
Ouch, my teeth are so soft. Goodbye.
Oh no, not teeth. Goodbye.